Hi and welcome to another Ruby on Rails tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to build a web application only by using HTML and then display it using Rails. This is very easy and straightforward, but it is a full functioning website. The first thing that is better to do is to save your file and save it as an HTML. So save as, and by the way I'm using Sublime Text for this. Now I just have to save my text. I'm going to use the name index and .html. Save. So now we can write HTML. The first thing to start HTML is this line of code. So when you want to start writing the HTML, you first have to have this line of code, and then after that you will start with HTML. This means the start of the HTML, and then for the end of HTML you will put slash HTML. This means, so the first line means HTML started, the second line means HTML closed. So there are two important parts inside of your HTML file. Now one of them is head and the other one is body. The same way, you will use head and then you will use backslash head. It's better to put them on the same line. So we can write anything that we want here. This is going to be our title. I'm just going to write index. After head, you will start with the body. So the similar way, and almost all the tags are the similar way. And then you will do slash. It's good to be on separate lines. And then in your body, you can start doing anything. Since this title is going to be on our tab, we want another title that will show on top of our screen. So for writing my title, I'm going to use headers. Headers have 6 different sizes, and it starts from head 1, which is the biggest size, and then head 6, which is the smallest size. I'm going to use the biggest size to write the title of my web page. So H1, and then I have to close it. That means this is the end of it. This is the end of the header or our title. I decided to write this web page about the beautiful places around the world, so I'm going to say 5 amazing places on Earth. Then save it. Now we're just going to check to see how does it look like in our browser. I'm just going to go and open my file that I saved, and it is saved as a Chrome file. So I'm just going to open this. There is one mistake that I made here. I didn't put my index inside of the title. I wanted to just show it on the browser, on the tab of the browser. So what I can do is I can put it inside of, I can put a title tag around it. Title. And then save it again. So this is another amazing thing about HTML. You can put tags inside of tag, which is very useful. This time the name of the tab, the name that is on the tab, it's index. It's not index.html anymore. And this is the title that we're going to use for our website. but there is something. We don't want it to be on the side. We want it to be in the center of the screen. So what you can do about this is you can add another tag around your header, which is called center, and then close the center. Save it. When we run it again, it's going to be in the middle of the screen. So there is something else that I want to change in this website. It is all white, and I think it looks very boring if you want to just keep it white. So I want to change the color of the body. The way that I can do that is to since we're changing the background color, it's called BG. So you go to the body where the body starts, and you put BG color together, not separate, together, and then you put equal sign, quotation mark, and you will put the name of the color that you want, for example green, and then save it, run it again, and it will turn green. Now what if I want to do light green? So not only you have access to all of the colors by their name, but you have access to, you can use the hexadecimal number of the colors, so you can be very specific with the color that you're going to choose. So I'm going to show you a website. In that website, all the colors are what you can see, the hexadecimal number of all colors, and it is very useful if you want to make your website look more beautiful. And you can either choose the favorite colors from users before. So here there are 4 different shades of orange. There is no way that you could have just write the name of it and get the exact color that you want. But if you just copy and paste this number, the number below each color, you can have that number as a background of your screen. So, and also there's another feature. You can just go here and choose, for example, I want to go in green, and I can choose the shade that I want. For example, I want this shade, and I choose it. And here, this is the code of the color that you want. And you can get more info by just clicking get info, and we can copy and paste this, put the pound sign, Control C, and paste it instead of the color that we choose here, and then save it. Back to your web page, and there you go, color changed and it looks better now. And now we're going to start writing inside of our web page. So I'm going to start, I'm using H1. Here I'm going to use H3 to show the title of each picture, to show the title of each part of the world that I want to show, because H3 is going to be smaller than H1. So H3, number 5. Actually, even before we start this, it's better to give an instruction to the user. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. You can say, please click on pics for more info, and then close H2 and save it. Just gonna look at it again. Oh, I want this to be in the center as well, so I'm just gonna put center around it, and save. Now I'm going to use a little bit smaller header, which is going to be, you can either use a paragraph as well, you can use P, but I want to use header because I'm not going to write as much. I'm just going to put a title for each of the pictures. So I'm going to use H3, and I'm going to say number 5. So for number 5, I've decided to put Pyramid of Giza, and then I'm going to close it, save it, and look at it. So these two lines, the instruction line that we wrote and my other line are very close together. I don't want them to be very close together. So what I can do is I can use break before that. So here it is called break tag. So BR. This is one of those type of tags that doesn't need the closing. It's just, you're just using the beginning. There is no need for closing. So save this and then run this again. So now there is more distance, looks better. After that, I just want to add my image here, my picture. So the tag that I'm going to use for using my pictures, it's image img, and this is again one of those tags that doesn't need the closing. It's a little bit different. It doesn't need two tags together, it's just one. So you will close it inside of it. And then after you set you want an image to be displayed, you need to put the location of your image. So you're gonna use source src is equal to, and then you will put the source of your image where your image is located. If you want, you can just put your image where your index file is, so you can just put the name of your image, but I'd rather to put it in a separate folder called image, and I'm going to use the Giza picture, and it is a JPEG file. It says item type JPEG file. So what I have to do is to write giza.jpg, and this is the location of the file image. So I'm going to write image slash, oh don't forget the quotation marks, image slash and then the name of it, which is Giza and JPEG. Close it. Save. Now let's check the image. So my picture didn't show up. The reason is I write img here, but the name of the file is image. So I'm going to save it and run it again. This is our picture, but our picture is too big. So we have two options. We can either go and make our pictures smaller with another software, or we can resize our image here. It doesn't make the original size of the image smaller, so it will still take the same amount of time to load. So what I want to do is I'm going to change the height of this picture. So after the quotation mark, before your slash, you write height, then equal to, you will write how many pixels you want your picture to be. I want the height to be 400. Then I'm going to save it and run this again. Now it looks better. save. Now it looks better. Because I want all of my pictures to be the same size as this one, I can just copy paste 400 and 800 for all of my images. And now that our first image is done, we want to find some information about the pyramids of Giza and then link our picture to that. So this is the file that I want to link it to this image. Sorry, this is the site that I want to link it to this image. So the way to do that is, first of all, you need to put anchor sign. So it is A, and then close your anchor, just backslash A. Sorry. Inside of your anchor, you want to reference it to the website. So you write href equal to quotation mark, and you will write the name of the website. You will write the address of the website. Control C, paste it here, then save it, run it again. Now if we click on the image, we have to go to the Wikipedia page. So that means our link works. And there's another interesting things that you might sometime notice when you're going on the image. There is a title, there is a information about the image is going to show up. I want to add that to our anchor as well. So in order to do that, get out of the quotation mark, but inside of the anchor. Still we're inside of the beginning of the anchor, and you write title equal to, write anything that you want. I'm just gonna write wiki and save it, run this again. Now if I go on the image, I will see wiki. There is a title, there is a title block under it that says this image will take you to the wiki. So this is it. Each one of these images have a anchor, and they will go to the link. So everything is good now, and we saved the file, and this is actually a website by itself, just using HTML. So now we're going to try to put it in Rails and try to run this inside of the Rails. All the information on how to get started with the Rails is in the video before this one. Get started with Rails, Ruby on Rails tutorial. If you want to know how to start the Rails and set up the Rails, check that out. In this video, I'm just going to replace the HTML file with the index file that I have inside of the Rails, and run it from there. We want to put all of our images inside of our index, the application that we built. So we're going to index, app, assets, images, and we're going to copy all of our images, or drag all of our images inside here. We want to drag this folder, which is our application folder, inside of the Sublime text. So now we have access to all of the folders of our application. We have to go inside of the folder of our application. So cd HTML, cd HTML web, and then cd index. So now we can run that. Going to check our views if the welcome is built. Yes, it is built. And then index.html, we're going to open this and replace it with the index that we built. And then save it. So now we have it inside of our Rails. Then another thing that you want to do is you want to put a route for this. Route welcome pound index, and then save it. This is going to be our home. So now we're going to run it again. Our web page is here under Rails, but there is one problem: we don't have any of our images here. So in order to figure out what happened to our images, we have to go and check our Rails. When we change the location of our pictures inside of our asset, that means the address that we put inside of the index is no longer correct. So now they are in asset folder. So we have to replace all of our images with assets, and then our images are going to show up. So this is the first one. Second one, we have image. We replace it with assets. Save, and do this things this thing for all of the sources that you have for your images. So there you go. This is our first application on Rails using only HTML. Thank you for watching, and see you in next video.